Welcome everybody to another episode of the Geek Dad Report. I am Brian, and that terrible towel-waving fool over there is Ryan. Oh God, that terrible.
Sorry, it's the NFL draft started tonight, and I am, of course, a diehard Pittsburgh Steelers fan, even though I'm from Seattle, and uh, and I still love you, Brian, even though you're a Seattle Seahawks fan.
Yeah. Well, I forgive you. You love me, but I forgive you for being a hated enemy.
The
The
hated
Pittsburgh
enemy. Oh,
Steelers, hated,
okay.
hated.
We'll save this for the NFL Geek Dad Report chat because you and I
Yeah, we
will
will be doing it.
spar.
We will be doing a Geek Dad NFL special where we talk about how the Seattle Seahawks are going to pounce the Pittsburgh Steelers when they come to CenturyLink Field in October. But this is not called the Sports Dad Report. This is called the Geek Dad Report. So we'll table this for another day. But like I said, welcome to the Geek Dad Report, the one show dedicated, formulated, created for all you busy people to get all your good movie information and pop culture news and keep your valuable time just that valuable. Welcome back yet again.
Hello, Internet. Thank you for coming back once again. Not too much news this week. Age of Avengers is pretty much, the thing to talk about. Uh, I think Brian and I were kind of talking about it. We're going to do a quick hit of a whole bunch of, movie and game and everything news that you could possibly want. So,
Yeah, we'll
oh,
get right to it. I mean, if you do want to hear us talk about Avengers, a little shameless plug, me and Ryan did a little Avengers review. You can find it here on the website and check it out. I'm sure we'll talk a little Avengers tonight, but if you want our full
at least
25
watch the
minutes.
intro. I think it is our best introduction yet. So,
If you want to see two grown men wearing helmets and playing with toys and just pretty much nerding out about the best movie this year, well,
yeah.
maybe not including Star Wars, but we'll see. But yeah, check it out. It'll be on the website. It's on the YouTube channel. Let us know what you think. But anyway, we'll get to our news today, and we'll just kind of rapid fire to this thing. So the first thing we got is 21 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street is starting its own universe now. Since everybody has to have a universe, Channing Tatum and Jordan Hill now have to have their own 22 Jump Street universe. It's going to start with, apparently, the only thing that's kind of cool is it is going to apparently cross over with Men in Black. They're both properties of Sony. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work. I'm fairly certain that Will Smith is not doing this, or even Tommy Lee Jones. I don't know. My guess is that Tatum and Hill will probably somehow end up becoming Men in Black. I'm not really sure. So
Then they'll just be like, just keep, hey, what's this do? Click, and it like erases their memory. Hey, what's this do? Click, and it erases their memory. And then they'll do that for like 20 minutes of the movie.
yeah, and I feel like the ending's already been written. They'll erase their own memories and it'll
Yeah.
move on. But also included in this universe is supposed to be also an all-female 21 Jump Street. So I'm guessing exact same movie, but with just girls. So I don't know. I was a big fan
And
of the first two movies, but I don't feel like
I'll,
this
I'll
franchise
hold
needs
my
universes.
criticism until I actually get to see some of the product.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. So, anyway, more of that as we hear about it. It's just kind of been announced, so they don't have any real solid details on dates or anything like that. But more as we'll let you get, we'll let you know more as we hear information. The next news we got for you is a little Star Wars news. Star Wars: The Clone Wars was a very popular cartoon that aired for a few years before Lucas sold to Disney. One of the sad things that a lot of fans had to deal with is when Disney bought it, they stopped doing everything and started doing Star Wars Rebels, which is a very good show too. But there was talk of some unaired, unfinished episodes that never quite got done. Maybe seeing the light of day. Well, it looks like Disney has decided to release them all. They've combined all the storylines into a 22-minute video. They're not quite finished. I've watched it. It's actually pretty good. It follows a very good narrative. It's not, like I said, it's not finished, so it's not overly pretty, but you get the gist of the story. They're pretty cool. So you can find those online on Disney or StarWars.com. Check them out.
Yeah.
If you like Star Wars, like I said, that's there. So they're available right now. Also, some Star Wars news: Star Wars Rebels season 2. Originally, everyone thought it was going to air around the same time that season 1 did in the fall. Recently at Celebration, they actually aired a pretty cool sizzle reel for the movie. It looked like the season 2 was pretty far along as far as being done, and well, that's actually true. It is they've moved the release date of season 2 up to June 2nd, so it's actually right around the corner. So that's very good news.
Yeah, I still gotta catch season. I got to like half of season one, so I still gotta finish it. But it's from what I've heard, on all purposes, it's a great show. So
Yeah, it's super great. My 2-year-old is absolutely in love with it. So, and she's a girl, and Star Wars Rebels is one of her favorite cartoons. So it's kind of any age. 13 episodes. If you haven't watched it, highly recommend it. You can find them on Disney XD online, or if you have on demand, they pretty much carry all the episodes, or they just pretty much repeat them all the time. So, some cool news there. So news that I wouldn't necessarily call cool unless you're really into this thing. 50 Shades came out last year. Everybody hated it, but it made a lot of money. I honestly have yet to find one person who liked the movie, but it's going to be a trilogy, and the sequel has a trailer out right now, a little teaser trailer. The sequel's called apparently 50 Shades Darker. The teaser's out. I haven't watched it.
I I have no desire to even care. I'm
I,
not if a movie studio comes to me and said, "Hey, we're doing a promotion," I'm just gonna like delete the email. So
so that's pretty much how we feel about 50 Shades. If that offends you, well, I don't know. Maybe you should get a boyfriend or a girlfriend,
yeah, or just
or leave the
some group.
house, or watch
Check.
it, or go see Avengers. That will probably be better than 50 Shades. I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain that'll be better. So, also kind of weird news: Green Eggs and Ham is being developed into a Netflix series, an animated one, and even better, it's being developed by Ellen DeGeneres. I don't know.
I don't know how to react to that just because I mean we have like the short like one of the short animated things and it's 5 minutes long. It's a freaking
It's
how can you make an episode out of that? Like
Green
is one
Eggs
episode
and
gonna be
Green
him
Eggs
in
and
a
Ham,
boat?
Sam I am.
I'm gonna eat this green egg ham crap in a boat and then it's
Well,
just fighting with it.
apparently he's going to do it for 13 episodes at least. So I don't know. Moving on, I
Yeah.
guess. Weird news there. So some Daredevil Netflix. Speaking of Netflix, Daredevil season 1 recently aired, and it's awesome, and everybody's so super excited for season 2 that's been announced for next year. Uh, Everybody is starting to kind of start coming out on what they want, and Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox, has come out and said that he is fighting for Daredevil or for Daredevil for Punisher for season 2.
Punisher.
Punisher. It seems like
Uh,
everybody wants Punisher. The showrunners want Punisher. The fans want Punisher. Daredevil wants Punisher. I don't
It
see
better
the
be
downside.
Thomas Jane though, because I can't really see anyone else doing the Punisher other than him.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they could cast somebody. I mean, if Marvel does a lot of things right, casting is pretty much one of them. But
Yeah.
I would love to see Thomas Jane. And we talked about earlier that little short he did on YouTube. The Dirty Laundry was really really good. I would love to see Thomas Jane. I don't know if Marvel would go for it, Disney. I hope so. But anyway, This is. I know you're working right now on getting through Daredevil, but anybody who's seen it knows that this is the perfect environment to introduce Frank Castle and tell his story. And obviously, it would be Daredevil, so it would be Frank Castle's story. But it's one of those characters that you do a 3 or 4, put him in there 2, 3, 4 episodes. He could easily spin into his own series, and it could be
Mhm.
another huge hit for Marvel and Netflix. So, here's fingers crossed that that actually happens. Um,
Please.
spe- Speaking of Marvel, and we talked a little bit about Avengers. We won't go too much Avengers news here, but right now, as it currently stands, 95% of all activity on Fandango is Avengers related. Avengers Age of Ultron related.
I am not surprised. What is your prediction for how much Avengers is gonna make this weekend?
I'm gonna say 225. I'm gonna call it 225.
Okay,
225 million.
I was gonna say somewhere right in that avenue as well. I mean, it's gonna make it's
And
gonna be insane how
that's
much.
domestic. 207 was the domestic record for the first Avenger, which is still the record. I figure you factor in inflation, word of mouth is getting crazy right now. I know it's only at a 73% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, and I can't even fathom it. The only thing I can think of at this point is critics have decided they don't want to watch, they don't want to say good things anymore about Marvel. They just don't want any more comic book movies. I'm guessing because why anybody wouldn't like this movie or say, I mean, there might be a few flaws with it, but how you could not recommend this movie is just beyond me. I have no idea. So I think it's going to be huge. I think word of mouth is going to be monstrous. Like I said, I'm predicting somewhere around the 225. I don't know what the worldwide record is, but I know it's already been out for a while. So my guess is it was 200 million last weekend at worldwide. It'll probably be another 200 million worldwide this weekend. Probably going to opening weekend. By the time it's all said and done, it'll probably be somewhere around 750 million total, and that's in
Yeah.
1 week, one full week, and a weekend in America. So I don't know. It's going to be huge. So go see Avengers.
Gonna be raining money for
Go see
Disney.
Avengers. You'll see this guy right here. He
It's
loves
gonna be $100
Avengers.
bills. Some executive sitting in Disney right now, like money just
Like
falling on us.
Scrooge McDuck just like swimming in the cash. I mean,
Yeah,
this guy says if you love America, you will go see
yeah.
Avengers. And we're not even getting money from Disney. We just love the movie so much. We want everybody to enjoy it like we did.
People watch your gosh darn mouth while you do it.
Yeah, watch your mouth, and also watch our review. Shameless plug number two. Watch our review on YouTube, our YouTube channel, WPR shows. Um, So speaking of loads of money in Scrooge McDuck, Apple just announced their quarter 2 earnings. It was like $60 billion or something like that. And they announced that I think it was 6.2 billion or something like that. That's billion with a B. Right now in their surplus, they have 194 billion dollars in reserve right now. That's the money that they've made.
They have they have more cash reserve than God, I can't remember how many like the lowest poorest countries in the world, but they have like a higher cash reserve than like 30 of the poorest countries in the world or something like that.
So, I
I
mean,
mean, it's
you could say what you want to about Apple, whether you're a fan or not a fan or a casual fan or whatever, but they are doing something right. They have more money than most of Europe and Africa and Australia probably.
and they need to do a cash dividend for stockholders because that'd be great. You
Well,
know,
I don't have stock. I just would like to get an Apple Watch that didn't cost $900. I mean, how about a $50 Apple Watch? That'd be cool. Maybe a free iPhone occasionally. Like you like a punch card, you get 5 iPhones, your sixth one's free. That'd be kind of cool. So
we'll
these are,
see.
Apple, feel free to use these ideas. We don't expect anything in return other than maybe branding rights and some Apple cash. Speaking of billionaires, Bruce Wayne was recently spotted on the set of Suicide Squad. So Ben Affleck was dressed up as Bruce Wayne, and he's on the set of Suicide Squad. So you can pretty much add him
Uh,
to the list of ever-growing actors that are going to be in Suicide Squad.
do they need like 40 people on the cast or something like that? Because that's what it's going to be at this point.
I think they're doing the
We,
punch
we
card
put in every secondary DC character we could find, and we're just going to see which one the crowd likes,
and
and
just
then
go with
we'll
it.
go
Well,
on it. There.
the other news that goes along with that is, along with Bruce Wayne being on the set of the Suicide Squad movie, Joker was spotted on set of Jared Leto was spotted on set of the Batman versus Superman movie. So the rumor is kind of that they're going to have a cameo in each one, kind of try and be Marvel and tie everything together. So I don't know, we'll see. Speaking of Joker, a first picture of Joker came out that sent the internet on fire, and mass nerds to blow up their computers. I showed a picture of Jared Leto's Joker with a lot of tattoos. Now, we can debate all day long about I didn't think it was that bad. I know a lot of our fellow writers hated it, but the other thing that I have kind of heard is that may not actually be the finished product of what's going to be in the movie. That might have been more of a promotional piece with the tattoos kind of explaining part of his character without actually doing anything. So I don't know. So if you saw the picture, it's out on the internet. It's everywhere. Take a look. I think we have it on our Facebook page. And
It's uninspiring.
it
I
is
mean,
very it is very
but it's
uninspiring.
going to be, it's hard to top Heath Ledger. That's the thing.
It
I
is
mean,
hard, but also remember when Heath Ledger was announced as a Joker, the internet broke again, and everybody lit their computers on fire, and it turned out great. So, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't have an opinion about it, but until you hear that iconic laugh and see a little bit of the final product, maybe we should all not snap our computers in half. But anyway, it's out there. It's very controversial. I thought there were some cool things about it, but anyway, that's out there. Some kind of cool news if you're an anime fan. Dragon Ball Z is coming back to television with a whole new show. It's it takes place after Goku fought Majin Buu. So if you're a fan, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, then there's no point in even worrying about it. So it takes place after that. I'm not sure if it's going to wipe clean the whole slate with Dragon Ball GT, which was like a 30 episode show that wasn't really that popular. It was kind of weird, and that's saying something for Japanimation, the anime show. But it got strange, But this one looks pretty cool. It's going to air in Japan in July. No word yet on an American dubbed release or whatever. But if you like the subtitles, you can probably get the show probably pretty quick after it airs this summer. So kind of cool news. Big fan of Dragon Ball. So Spider-Man news. This is mostly rumors, so take it with a grain of salt. It's well known that Sony and Marvel have been looking at a really young actor to play Spider-Man. Right now, it looks like they've kind of narrowed in on, I'm not sure how to say his name, Asa Butterfield. He was mostly known for the movie Ender's Game. He played Ender. Very skinny. I think he's 17 or 18, so he even looks even younger than that. So if that's true, that's he did really good in Ender. Seems like he's a good actor.
Yeah, great on Ender's Game. I like his portrayal in that movie. I'm kind of glad they're going with a more younger Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire was good, and what's his face? I can't remember. But he's always a teenager, from the comics and all that stuff. And I'm glad they're going with an obvious, like, a young looking person, not just like I'm 30 years old and I look like I'm 20 still.
Yeah.
So.
Like Andrew Garfield. I think he was 32, and he definitely looked like in his 20s. But no, Asa Butterfield, he's definitely very young. And even if it's not him, the rumored people that the finalists, they're all late teens, 14, 15, 16. They all look young. So it looks like we actually are going to get a young Spider-Man, which I'm pretty excited about. Also, the rumored title for the Spider-Man movie is going to be called Spider-Man: The New Avenger. Which would cement even more that Marvel is kind of behind this. When you see Avengers like we have, it definitely, without giving anything away, that name would actually tie in very much into where it looks like Avengers is kind of going. So I don't know. It's like I said, it's all rumor. That stuff sounds like it might be pretty solid though. So kind of exciting things. If you watched our episode last week, you heard us
say exciting.
It's exciting. Well, you can't combine words. You can't combine Spider-Man and exciting. Stephen Amell came up with Sin Seriously. I'm coming up with exciting. All right, that's my new word. It's my new word. Are you calling me out? I got a lot of work here. Look, I got to read this show sheet and talk to you the whole time. I got to come up with new words to speed the show along. So we're very exciting about this movie, and it should be an exciting property. So, if like I said, if you watched our show last week, we raged pretty hard against Sony and the damage they've done to Spider-Man, and hopefully this sounds like it could be, fingers crossed, a little bit of a step in the right direction to maybe get Spider-Man back to being cool again. So, oh man,
should we just cut through like the shit that we don't want people to recommend this week?
This show is so exciting. I'm very excited about it. It's
I'm very excited as myself.
Very excited about it. Things that I'm not excited about. James Cameron apparently has a script for Avatar 5.
Who cares?
Which is awesome because Avatar 2 hasn't even come out yet. So
have they even started filming it?
I don't know. All I know is that I liked Avatar. It was good. I don't even know if there's enough story for a second movie, much less a fifth movie. So James Cameron,
people having sex everywhere. That's all it is.
Give it up. Go make another movie about the moon crashing into the sun or something. I don't know. Alien babies.
Whatever he does, it'll make $1 billion.
God, you've lost your way, James. We want to get back to. Can we get back to Terminator and Aliens and True Lies? Can we get back to those? I don't want Avatar 32. I mean, I'm just over. Make something cool, James Cameron. Even though it'll make $10 billion. Speaking of things that do make me really excited, is that X-Men, another rumor, but because I know we don't talk a lot about rumors, but this one makes me very excited. Apparently, Bryan Singer, Age of Apocalypse, is going to possibly be his last go at the X-Men movies. If you don't already know, everybody at the website does. At Watch Play Read knows that I do not like Bryan Singer as the director of X-Men. I've rallied against him, and I think he's done nothing but ruin the property. I thank him for X-Men 1 and 2. It helped get the comic book franchise going, but everything else has been crap since then, and I just can't wait for him to step down and they can reboot the whole series. So, I'd love to see it go back to Disney. That's probably not going to happen, but least we can do is maybe get rid of his entire crap, storylines that he's created, and get rid of all its lore, and quit making all the movies he's slave
Are
to.
we gonna be able to do another X-Men reboot? Because I don't know if I really want that.
You know what? I don't even care. Just get rid of Bryan Singer. Let's see Deadpool. See Gambit. Let's see some of these. Let's see X Force. I heard X Force is coming out. As long as they're
Bring
not directed by
Cable.
Bryan Singer and they don't
I'm
have
not.
to, they don't have to adhere to the universe that he created. I'm all for it. So that's all rumor though. Hopefully it'll be true rumor. But so we're getting close out of time. So I got a couple last things. We'll just hit through them real quick. Kingsman 2 is in the works. I did not see Kingsman 1. It was one of the movies I really regretted not seeing in theaters. I've heard nothing but great things about it. So if you're a big fan of Kingsman, which I'm sure we will when we finally watch the movie, the sequel's in the works. Helix, the show on Sci-Fi, has been canceled. A lot of people didn't watch Helix. I watched it with my wife. The first couple seasons.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember you talking about it.
Yeah, the first season was all right. The second season got really strange, and by the end, even I didn't care. Kind of sucks because they had a cool premise, and there were some questions. Hopefully maybe they'll make a comic or something where they kind of answer the few questions they had still out there. But if you're a fan of Helix, bad news. It was canceled actually today. Robot Chicken. If you like Robot Chicken, it's a 15-minute short, kind of claymation animated. I don't know, it's not claymation. I guess like they take toys and they play with them, kind of like what we do on our show, but way
Yeah.
funnier. On was it Cartoon Network?
Yes.
I think it's Cartoon Network. Yeah, they're airing a third DC special. So if you watch the show at all, they do a lot of really good specials with DC, Star Wars. Those are usually their funniest episodes, and so they're in fact doing a third one. It's going to kick off their season 8. I don't know when the premiere is, but I'm guessing probably not too far away.
Those are the episodes that I actually watch. I just watch the specials and then I kind of forget about all the other
Well,
episodes.
they tend to be their best episodes. I mean, they're pretty funny. The satire's really good, and it's kind of if you like the properties, it's pretty fun to watch them. Like kind of poke fun at them. So, Gremlins. If you like Gremlins, I think we've mentioned before that Gremlins is getting rebooted. I'm not really a big fan of that. I actually really enjoy the first one, and I still watch it every Christmas. But apparently, the original idea was it's going to be a reboot, but the director apparently wants to. He's referenced J.J. Abrams' Star Trek a lot on how he'd like to reboot, but at the same time stay faithful. And I don't know. Personally, Gremlins isn't that big of a property that you need to stay faithful to anything. But whatever. Anyway, Gremlins Part 3/1 is coming out sometime. I don't know when. And the last thing we got for you tonight, before we get to our recommendations, is good old NASA. They're either going to explode the universe in one fell swoop, or send us into the future in one fell swoop. Apparently, they may have accidentally created warp drive, and I do mean warp drive like Star Trek warp drive.
Yeah. Ooh, I have something to do for that.
There you go. We may soon be flying on one of those things. Yes, NASA has. There's a bunch of stuff that I don't even know what it is, but apparently they have some thing where they shoot light. They measure.
Engage at maximum warp.
They mess around with light particles. Well, anyway, they started shooting laser beams, and when they shot laser beams, they found out that the light particles were actually going faster than light, which is really weird. I didn't know the particles could go faster. Light particles could go faster than light, but they are actually going faster than light, which they are theorizing has created warp bubbles around the light, which makes it go really fast. What does all that mean to all of us? It means that one day we may be able to go really, really, really fast, which means we may be able to travel to other planets, in the near distant future. So, I think we've lost Ryan. We've lost you. What are you so, apparently, that's all Ryan to say
What are you
about.
saying?
I don't know. I don't have a science degree. I'm sure I butchered it. If anybody from NASA is watching this, they said I probably told it completely wrong. So check it out. You can hop online and Google it. But NASA may have created warp drive, so I'm sure if they figure it out, they'll talk more about it. So we'll know in the future. So we have completely shot our time. We wanted to go short, and we once again went long. So we'll get to our recommendation. You're up first.
My recommendation is I put this on my Facebook feed earlier because my kids always make me watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. I would really want Mickey and his friends to just select the wrong tool one time when they asked the stupid mouse tools. Because Toodles just,
Toodles.
like Donald was in a well. And they're like, how are we going to get Donald out of this well? And they're like an industrial giant fan. I'm like, throw the fucking fan. Oh, sorry.
Family show. You're talking about a
This is
family
a family
cartoon
show.
and you drop the F-bomb.
Do we have a
Language,
bleep
Ryan,
thing?
language.
But so I was like, throw the fan down there. My daughter's like, no, that'll hurt Donald. I'm like, just throw the fan. And then they didn't throw the fan. But come on. That's what I want. That's my recommendation for this week.
All right, Disney, I hope you're listening. And don't swear. America hates swearing. Watch Avengers and you'll understand why this is funny. My recommendation of what you should or should not watch this week. Last week I chose something you should not watch, so I'm going to keep that streak alive, and this time I'm going to choose something you should not read. Blackest Night, a DC crossover. It came out a few years back. I was very excited to read it. It was the culmination of a whole bunch of the Light saga for Green Lantern, written by Jeff Johns, who does a great job with his other stuff that he did. I pick it up. It's pretty thick. The artwork is really pretty. I read it, and it's utter crap. It is terrible. I couldn't read it. I know a ton about it, but I couldn't find an entry point. I didn't know half of what was going on, and when I did, I didn't care. They kept killing people just to bring them back, and then it made no sense. The story is awful. Don't read Blackest Night. I'm very sad that it was terrible. I wasted a lot of time. I was so excited to read that I picked up all the other ones, and I read them all just so I get caught back up, and it didn't matter. It was terrible. So, Blackest Night, do not read. If you do want to read a good Jeff Johns story that's Green Lantern, I recommend Rebirth. This one is actually really, really good. It tells the story of how Hal Jordan comes back from the dead and becomes the Green Lantern once again. So, I'd read that one too. That one's really good. So that one, well, not two. I would read that one and skip Blackest Night. So actually, I would skip them both and just go see Avengers. That would probably be my recommendation for the week.
The recommendation this week is to go see Avengers as many times as humanly possible.
So Disney, fix Toodles.
Yes.
You quit swearing. You don't read Blackest Night and do read Rebirth, or skip them both and go see Avengers. So Captain America says go see Avengers. Yay! All right, that's about all the time we got. You got anything else? No? All right. Well, thank you for joining us. Go Hawks.
Here we go, Steelers!
No, that's the cue. We got to go.
Outside.
Watch the draft. I don't know. We're going to be watching the draft. All right. That's enough of you, Ryan.
Go watch the draft.
Later,
Sorry.
guys.